third episode of the Muscle Mommy podcast. I know that I said Thursdays would be the release day, and that is still the plan, but I had a bit of a hectic week this week. Other things just took priority over getting this filmed. I did have to say goodbye to my cat earlier this week. She was 17 years old, so I spent a lot of time with her just the last few days. But moving forward, I will try to be on time, and at minimum, I will be getting at least one episode out a week. That is the plan. But just a little quick update for the next few weeks. Videos may look a little bit different. I am leaving on Wednesday for a big cross-country road trip out west. I will be attempting to camp and live out of my car for the next 3 weeks and explore the national park system out west. So we will be in Utah, hit Arizona, California, and out of Nevada, New Mexico, maybe Colorado, maybe Wyoming. I'm a little bit nervous about it, actually. It'll be my first time camping completely alone. Normally I take Nala, but Nala is currently having injury herself that we're getting healed up, so I decided it would be best for her to stay home, which is a bummer because that dog goes everywhere with me, and to be honest, I feel like I'm gonna get bored and really lonely on this trip without her, so we'll see how it goes. I'll be visiting a couple friends on the trip, so prepare to see lots of nature and adventure videos, adventure footage. So it should be interesting. I'm gonna be living out of a Prius, so we'll see how that goes. It may go very poorly, but if you haven't subscribed already, please do, and you can come and explore with me. It should be a fun time. You can watch me struggle to live out of my Prius in the wilderness and outfit my Prius for rugged mountain adventures, if that's even possible. I don't think rugged and Prius have ever been used in the same sentence together, but we're breaking the rules here. For today's episode, we journeyed to the marvelous land that is Reddit, to the sub-thread, the sub-community of Am I the Asshole? This is one of my favorite threads. There are just so many outrageous stories, mostly about how entitled people are and thoughtless. It really is quite astounding. I don't know if any of you have followed any of these threads or seen videos on Facebook. There's a lot of other people on Facebook and other podcasts that will just focus specifically on stories from this thread because they're so outrageous and there's just so much potential to talk about things. Anyways, we will be going over some fitness-specific stories in this thread, and I will give my 2 cents on the situation, and I would love for you all to sound off your thoughts in the comments below as well. I want to hear what everybody thinks about these stories. Do you agree with my analysis? Do you agree with the poster? Love to hear it. So strap in and let's hear some of these wild gym tales. This first one is a little complicated. I think a lot of stuff is going on both ends. We'll dive right in. Am I the asshole for not wanting to talk to my sister anymore because of her gym fixation? Okay, the original poster is 18 and the sister is 21. So my sister is on her year abroad in France, but I haven't heard much about her time there. She recently came back to visit for a few days with her boyfriend, but it was excruciating. I spent more time talking to her boyfriend than I did talking to her. I tried discussing anything and everything, but all she could talk about was her fitness, her diet, how much weight she's lost. It's absolutely draining. She's cut out gluten and refined sugars, pretty much only eats keto bars, variations of rice cakes, and drinks protein shakes. It doesn't feel like my sister. Also, I've been insecure about my weight for a long time. I'm not overweight. I'm 70 kilos and 5'9", but I'm too anxious to do exercise in public, so it's generally confined to my bedroom, meaning my dad, also obsessive about the gym, who averages 25 hours per week, and sister, assume I'm not doing anything and shame me for being lazy. While she was home here, we went to look around the university I want to go to. I was expecting a fun and special day. Instead, we were at a restaurant and they couldn't stop talking about fitness, gym techniques, their diets, and weight loss. I had never felt more ashamed for simply eating a nice meal in my life. I was blatantly ignored the whole time, then left and broke down in the bathroom. My sister made comments over the next few days like, "Since when was I this ripped? Since when did I have a jawline?" Trying to get me to feel her abs and triceps. Don't get me wrong, I love her more than anything, and I'm glad she's found some confidence. I ended up making bets with her boyfriend about which anecdotes about the gym she was going to bring up at the extended family dinner. Whether she would bring up the fact that she's lost 3 inches around her waist. She did. 3 times in 4 hours. She would justify any food she ate with, "Well, I went to the gym this morning, so I deserve it." That made me feel great. It's not just the gym talk, though. I miss being able to joke around with her, binge watch TV shows, and eat ice cream together. I want to go drinking, go into town, just do something, but all she asks is if I want to go on a run with her or hit the gym. We don't have any mutual interests to discuss, and that makes it all the more difficult. I did go to the gym with her once. On the way back, I confessed that I was getting annoyed that she wasn't able to talk to me about anything else. She did make an effort to change the topic to things that I was interested in, but again, we don't share interests. I talked briefly about movies I liked, and she would start talking about the book adaptations that I haven't read and have no enthusiasm for. Every interaction felt too forced. There's just no joy in talking to her anymore. Am I the asshole for feeling like this? For not making more of an effort to engage with her, be more proud of her achievements? Alright, so let's dive right into that. I think there's a lot to dissect in this one. I think there's some stuff going on for both sisters. I think it's clear that the original poster has a lot of what we call social physique anxiety, which is basically, in layman's terms, she's insecure about her body, may have low self-esteem or body image issues, and will be a barrier preventing them from working out in a public space such as the gym. She mentions that she's concerned about her weight or insecure about it, but her weight, she's about 155 pounds, which that's what I weigh, and she's 5'9", which is taller than me, and so she's definitely not fat by any means. The first time reading this through, this to me read like the original poster may have some jealousy surrounding her sister's newfound confidence and fitness. I think for most people who discover fitness, it is normal for it to become something they talk about quite often. It's a new lifestyle. It sort of envelops your life. In my case, it was the first time I was ever truly confident in myself, and it seems to be a very similar case here for this sister. If the original poster is insecure about her body image, it will be up to her to take steps to improve that confidence. And I think it's a little unfair to try to prevent other people from talking about their passions in order for you to feel more comfortable. As far as her sister goes, she should sit down and have a discussion with her about it. If you want to joke around or talk about other things, then do that. I know that you said that you don't have a lot of shared interests, but just talk. As we get older, as we grow into young adults, we may not be as close to our siblings as we used to be when we were younger. We develop different interests. We are living different lives. So that may be a part of it as well. But you can ask her to lay off the gym talk a little bit, but you should absolutely not discourage her from being involved or discussing her passion. Talking about fitness is a way to tell you that she feels good about herself. It is not directly trying to make you feel bad or diminish your own confidence. And telling her that it will likely hurt her feelings, because that's not her intention. Her intention is to be proud of herself. She has worked hard for her fitness, and she deserves to talk about it. She deserves to be proud. But don't let that come in between a sisterly relationship. You should be proud of her. And I would recommend not joking with her boyfriend about it either. That to me seems a little underhanded. Shouldn't be talking to this person's significant other and making jokes about them behind their back. If you're gonna make jokes, be upfront about it. You should be happy for her and make an effort to engage with her. So personally for me, I do think that this verges a little bit on the asshole side, but it is understandable to feel the way this original poster feels. I personally disagree with the Reddit comments dubbing that the poster is not the asshole. I think it is a little bit of the opposite. That may be because I identify more with the sister, because I definitely went through this when I first started working out and discovered the fitness industry. But like I said, you're growing into young adults. You will not always hold the same interests as each other as your lives go forward, but you should try to learn about her passion and she should try to learn about yours. And that way maybe you can create some common interests for you to talk about. Definitely she shouldn't have to tiptoe around discussing what makes her happy. Alright, so that was the first one. And moving on to this next one. This next one made me just a little bit angry. My girlfriend, 29F, and I, 39M, just moved to New York City. We're coming from Colorado, where we began cohabitating together, and now carrying that on in the Big Apple. Jesus, I can't talk today. We have a little less space now, but I don't think that bothers either of us too much. Even despite this move, my girlfriend and I have always been open and transparent when it comes to having our own individual lives away from each other. We love each other very much, but we understand that having a healthy relationship can often act as a byproduct to having a healthy individual state of mind. While we prioritize spending time together, we also hold doing things individually with high importance. So now that we are in NYC, we both needed gym memberships. In our search, I found a gym that I felt confidently would meet all of my needs. I was pretty sure that it was the perfect fit. She was simultaneously doing her own research, but for whatever reason didn't come across the gym that I had found and was generally underwhelmed with what she had found. She wasn't that excited about any of them. She wanted me to tell her about the one that I had found so she could consider joining herself. So I told her the name, she looked it up, and was very interested. It checked all of her boxes as well. I told her that I'd prefer to keep the gym as separate activities. A space we could each have for ourselves. Or in other words, don't join the same gym that I'm joining. I felt particularly strong about this considering we're living in a small apartment now, and I was clinging to the idea of the gym as my own personal getaway whenever I need it. At first, her reaction was only slightly negative. I explained why I felt this way, and ultimately she understood. I've since joined that gym, and I've been going regularly, but whenever I come home and she asks me, how was it? I tell her great, and then I feel a massive amount of guilt because I know that she'd like to be a member as well. Am I the asshole? Bottom line, yes, absolutely, you are the asshole. You don't need to go to the gym at the same time as your significant other, and it certainly is unfair of you to limit her gym options if there aren't any other suitable gyms in the area that pique her interests. That, to me, looks like it prioritizes your needs over hers. I understand you coming in saying, hey, we need our own activities in our own space, but the gym is a public area, and there's no rule saying that you both have to go at the same time. You can still go at separate times, and it can still be your own space. There's no law that says that significant others have to work out together all of the time. If you need gym time to be alone, just go alone. This to me also read initially in a way that could be interpreted as the original poster not wanting other people, specifically other girls at the gym, to know that he has a girlfriend or to think that he was single, which, given all of the shit that I've seen online these days, which would not be out of the realm of possibility. But I would like to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Commenters on Reddit had all jumped to this conclusion as well. Bottom line is, she can join whatever gym fits her needs and whatever gym she wants to. You don't have a say in that. No one is forcing you to go at the same time. And I really hope you aren't hitting on other girls in the gym, because that would just make you the mega asshole. I understand needing alone time in the gym and maybe your own space, but it is unfair to bar her from a public area, especially if it is the best gym near your apartment. So I would reevaluate that decision and let her join the gym. But that's that. That's pretty much all there is to it. I don't think there's really any other way to interpret that. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys might disagree with me on that one, but And that's how I feel about it. And this next one made me mad too, and if you're a woman, you probably will also be mad, so just go ahead and preemptively strap in. I, 25F, fucking hate wearing bras. They're uncomfortable, constricting, and expensive. With working from home, I spent the last year and a half basically never wearing a bra, and I got used to it. Quite frankly, my boobs are non-existent anyways. I recently started going to the gym again and started working out braless. I should note that up until now, no one has ever pointed out anything wrong with me not wearing a bra. However, in the middle of a set of squats, yes, mid-squat, a guy comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder to get my attention, and tells me that my are poking out through my shirt. I get really irritated because why the fuck is this guy staring at my nipples in the first place and then stopping me mid-set to inform me? I get really annoyed, try to finish my set, but then this fucker literally grabs the bar. What? As I ascend and re-racks it for me. That's inappropriate. He claimed it looked like I was having trouble with the last rep and that he had come over to make sure I could do it. Then he noticed my nipples. You've got to be kidding me. So I'm really fucking pissed off at this point and told him I didn't need his help finishing my set and why was he looking at my chest in the first place. He said that he was going to spot me but then noticed my chest and thought it would be inappropriate. I pointed out that the safety bar was set, so even if I did fail the set, he wasn't needed. But he just insisted people at the gym look out for each other and that going forward I should probably wear a bra so other people wouldn't get uncomfortable and that it may help me stay more balanced in my squats. Excuse me? That's not how that works. I'm literally the only girl at the weight section of the gym at the moment, and other guys who were squatting and failed sets never had to worry about this shit. I've seen guys fail multiple sets in a row and no one ever rushes to their aid, but I have a very slight pause and everyone thinks I need rescuing. So now I'm really annoyed and also kind of uncomfortable that this guy I've never spoken to in my life thinks he's helping me and then has the audacity to tell me how to dress. So I tell him, you have bigger boobs and nipples than I do. Maybe you should wear a bra so people won't get uncomfortable and you won't fail your squats. He then got really defensive, saying that he was just trying to help, then called me a bitch. Honestly, I'm not sure if I overreacted, but I'm still kind of pissed off, so that's clouding my judgment. Am I the asshole? No, I definitely do not think you're the asshole here. Personally, if I was also in this situation, I would read it as this guy obviously trying to hit on you, or me if I was in that scenario. In no world would you touch another person's gym equipment mid-set if they have not asked you, unless it's blatantly obvious that they need assistance. That, to me, blows my mind. He absolutely has no right to comment on her chest either, even if you aren't wearing a bra. I see, when I go to the Lunch Fitness on my bodybuilding days, I see lots of girls who wear like these ribbed shirts that are basically like a bra, but they're not wearing a sports bra or anything underneath it. And honestly, with small boobs, it doesn't really make a difference, so I understand not wanting to wear one. One, it is obviously going to make her uncomfortable if you comment on her chest. Two, it's just plain rude. Mind your own business. Her physical appearance is not any of your business. And if what he says is true, and I doubt it, I'm talking about when he went over to help her with her squats, then I think he should have just minded his own business. If the safety bar is set, then the person will be fine. Don't touch other people's gym equipment unless it's obvious that they need help. And dudes, just in general, this is a generic comment. It is just best to avoid making blatant comments on a woman's body like that. Not much good can come of it. Most women will not drop to their knees and beg you to take them home if you comment on their body in the gym. You can do it in a nice way. You just don't need to do it in a creepy way. I had one guy come up to me yesterday while I was at the gym. like tapped on my shoulder. I took my headphones out. He's like, hey, just wanted to tell you, you look fantastic. Have a good day. And left. And that made me feel good. Like, it didn't make me feel creepy. Like, I genuinely felt good about my physique. Like, props to the dude. He didn't try to stay and talk to me, didn't try to get my number or anything. He was just like, hey, you look good. Have a good day. And left. And that's how it should be. If you're going to comment on a girl's body, then it should be something like that. You don't need to make her uncomfortable. You don't need to hit on her in the gym, especially if she's mid-set or if she has headphones in. She has headphones in. She does not want to talk to anybody. And that's just in general. If somebody has headphones on in the gym, they do not want to talk to anybody. So leave them alone. Personally, I think this girl handled it just fine. I probably would have escalated the conflict much sooner than she had, and it might have been a little bit worse, but yeah, he's definitely an asshole, needs to stay away and mind his own damn business. Alright, so we've got time for one more. I'm trying to keep it under 30 minutes today. So here we go, last one. 6 months ago, I, female 23, decided to start lifting after a really painful breakup. It was extremely hellish for the first 3 months, but I eventually grew to enjoy it. Since then, I have gained 5 pounds and some nice muscle definition. I primarily focus on my upper body, though I prioritize my abs and arms. I didn't luck out in the genetics department when it came to the lower body, but in a weird way, I've always been grateful for that. At least I don't have to deal with getting stared at like that. Thus, I personally decided not to work out lower body, legs, glutes, any of that. And nobody's really questioned it. One of my best friends, Jacob, male 18, is a massive gym rat, and he's lean as hell. He had given me a lot of advice and even some training on upper body and cardio stuff in the gym at points. Yesterday we caught up at Chipotle and we both compliment each other's gains. However, at one point Jacob asked why I didn't ever want to do lower body stuff, and that he had been curious about it for a while. I explained my reasons, and he said he didn't think any of that should matter. He said that leg days are more fun than people say, and that proportionality, stability, and strong hips and glutes were essential for full body strength and hypertrophy. I told him I was good, and I even joked that I was fine with him having a better ass than me. Jacob thanked me, but said he was being serious, and that he wanted to take me on a leg day to iron forge my lower body. Creeped out by the joke, I told Jacob to fuck off, grab my food, and left. Later, Jacob texted me saying the whole thing was a misunderstanding and that he was sorry. Our mutual friends have been giving me shit for this, saying that I was being overdramatic and petty. I should be able to stick to my gym routine as well as I like. Am I the asshole? Okay, yeah, the original poster was absolutely being overdramatic. I don't even see how the joke was creepy. Personally, to me, it didn't even sound like a joke. It just sort of sounded like a play on words. It didn't have any kind of inappropriate connotation to it. You were the one that actually brought up the idea of having a big ass into play and sort of sexualized him with your joke. Also, everything he said was true. Proportionality, stability, glute and hip strength are very important to the entire body being functional and strong. There is a reason that people make fun of dudes who skip leg day, because eventually it looks weird when they have a massive upper body and then are not remotely proportional on their lower body. Over time, you will also develop muscle imbalances. And personally, leg day is a lot of fun, but that's my personal opinion. I don't know why you wouldn't at least want strong legs. Forget about aesthetic appearances. In a female, the lower body is so much stronger than the upper body anyways, and I feel like the friend here was just trying to keep the original poster from missing out on that opportunity and help her out and teach her a little bit more about the gym, so maybe she's a little bit more comfortable with doing lower body in the future. To me, he sounded genuinely invested in helping her be more confident and expand her knowledge. I know sometimes it's scary to try new things and step out of your comfort zone, but it is never good to neglect an entire portion of your body if you are going to the gym. Eventually, that could also lead to an injury. It's good to just have strong muscles. You don't necessarily have to do lower body in order to grow a giant ass. Like, that's, you have to work really fucking hard for that. It's not just gonna happen. Overall, I do think it was a major overreaction, and it was an asshole move, and I do think that you should apologize. He was not trying to sexualize you or make you uncomfortable in any way based on this story, and you should consider training your lower body even just a little bit. I think that you vastly misread the situation. It was not sexist. The previous story, now that was a little bit sexist. There's a very, very big difference in these two. But ultimately, that concludes our story time for today. I hope that you enjoyed these gym altercations and tales, and please sound off in the comments if you have an opinion on any of these scenarios. I would love to hear what you think, if you agree with my interpretation, disagree, anything really. In the next week, I will be starting my adventure series, so look for my first adventure series video early next week, likely on Tuesday night. I will be outfitting my Prius for the rugged adventure life in the mountains and the desert. So that should be interesting. It's a little experimental. I don't know how my car is going to do on this trip. I don't know how comfortable it will be, but we will see how that goes. There's no turning back now. I also plan on filming a short video at each of my stops, roughly one short video a day. I don't know if I will be posting them all in the same day. Obviously, there will probably be some lag time to any one of these films. I plan on doing some cool hikes like Angel's Landing and Zion, so stay tuned for any of that. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon. And next week, the podcast, I'm still going to try to get it up and hopefully on time. It will be in a different location. We won't have our fun neon lights unless I try to pack it in the car, but that's doubtful. Although I don't know, I could maybe take the little dumbbell. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Bye.